Hello, on today's show, we're going to be reviewing Memoirs of a Teenage Amnesiac. What are we going to review? Get it? Amnesia? This book is by Gabrielle Zevin, and basically I really liked it. Like, I thought that this was a really good book. It's not a challenging book. Like, it's not something that you really need to commit to. It's kind of like a summer light read. You know, I don't know why people always say a summer read. Like, why are summer reads easier than winter reads? Like, is there more, like, depth during the winter? I guess if you're trudging through snow, there would be. Anyway, love this book. So, synopsis. What is this book about? Well, it's about a character named Naomi. Maybe it's Naomi, but I'm going to go with Naomi. And she wakes up in an ambulance, and she looks up, and there's this guy there, James Larkin. I really think his last name's Larkin. I know it's James. Anyway, she doesn't know why she's in an ambulance. All she can really think about is how cute this guy is. Ridiculous. She's kind of thinking, like, why am I here? Why am I in a hospital right now? Like, when she's in the hospital. Then her dad comes, and they start making a list. And what she realizes is that she has amnesia. She can't remember anything. This is actually really cool. And you see it right off the bat of how, like, amnesia can affect someone's life really suddenly. Like, not just the long-term effects, but the short-term effects. So, not to give a spoiler, but I guess I'm giving a spoiler. The first thing that you see of her kind of coming to terms with her amnesia is when she asks, "Where's Mom?" Because she only remembers life from when she's 12 and back. She doesn't remember from 12 to 17, or maybe she's 16, to 16, 17. If you can hear anyone singing, that's my parents and my brother because they're watching a hockey game. Go Canucks! Where was I? Yes, so she can only remember when she's 12, and when she was 12, her family was all happy together. They traveled the world writing books and taking photographs. So when she's at the hospital, she's like, "Where's my mom?" And her dad's like, "Well, I didn't think that you would want her here." And she's like, "Why wouldn't I want my mom here?" And he says, "Well, you're right, I'll call her." So he calls her up. And then her mom comes, and then she's like, "Hey, Mom." And she's like, "What? You're actually speaking to me?" And she's like, "Yeah, obviously, why wouldn't I?" And she's like, I don't know why the mom says this so bluntly, but it's not, probably not blunt, but she says it, which kind of shocks me, but she's like, "Don't you remember I cheated on your dad and got pregnant with a high school sweetheart?" What? And so Naomi kind of goes, like, into shock. And her mom's like, no, you're right. What are you thinking? And she says, "I'm actually kind of thinking that you're a slut. For you, it probably hasn't been a break, but for me, it has been. I had to do something, but I also took this opportunity to look that quote up for you. Probably won't be able to see it. I don't think my camera can focus, but it's right there, at the bottom of page 32, and her mom's like, "How do you feel?" Or, "How are you feeling, Cupcake?" How do I feel? About what? Which part? About everything I've told you, I suppose. And she goes a little pensive for a moment, and then she says, "I feel like..." Her mom's eyes widen with expectancy. That's not how it's worded. "I honestly feel repulsed. I feel like you're a slut." This kind of, like, blunt emotions I really like about Naomi. She's not really, like, hidden about what she's feeling. She's not, like, telling everyone, but, like, I like that about her. So anyway, I'll kind of, at the back, it tells you a bunch of the kind of things that she can't remember and therefore are kind of shocking when she learns something. Okay, that's the thing that I really love this book. You learn the things that she's forgotten just as she's remembering them too. Like, as she's learning new things, you're learning them with her. So you can really, like, pick up on her emotions and, like, how someone would react. And the way that Gabrielle Zevin, the author, maybe you can't see this, maybe that's not in frame, but I'm pointing at the author's name at the bottom of the book. The way that the author, makes Naomi's reactions feel really honest to me. Like, they feel like a person would actually respond that way, and I think that's awesome. So, basically it's like a bunch of sentences. If Naomi had picked tails, because she lost a coin toss, so if Naomi had picked tails, she would have won the coin toss. She wouldn't have had to go back for the yearbook camera, and she wouldn't have hit her head on the steps. So that's what it is. She was in yearbook, and they forgot the camera, so she ran back into the school to get it, and then she fell down the stairs. So she wouldn't have woken up in an ambulance with amnesia. Told you about that. She certainly would have remembered her boyfriend, Ace. She might have even remembered why she fell in love with him in the first place. So actually, this part's so funny. Her first night back, she's kind of like in her room just chilling out. This guy comes into her window, and that, like, she's totally like, why is there a guy coming into my room right now? And that kind of is really awesome to me, because it's like, yeah, in a past life, you were the kind of person who let guys crawl into your room. But, like, in your new life, in your new opportunity for life, you're creeped out by it. Like, she's a different person. A bunch of the things that she looks at, like, kind of creep. You had the glare in my glasses for a long time, but I'm not going to redo it, so I hope you enjoy that glare. She looks at a bunch of the stuff around her room, and, like, she's really like, why do I have this? Like, why would I need this? What kind of a person was I that I needed this? Hint, hint. She would understand why her best friend, Will, keeps calling her Chief. She'd get all his inside jokes, and maybe he wouldn't be so frustrated with her for forgetting things she can't possibly remember. So, her best friend, Will, throughout the whole thing, he's really supportive, and he's really nice, and he's for sure my favorite character. He's really, like, quirky. Like, he's kind of a weird character, but, like, he's really supportive of Naomi, and he writes her letters on this typewriter and stuff to, like, try to make her remember stuff. And anyway, he's big in the plot. She'd know about her mom's new family. Told you about that. Family, not only husband. Spoiler. Okay. She'd know about her dad's fiancé. That's another shock that she gets when she gets home. She wouldn't have to spend her junior year relearning all the French she supposedly knew already. Like, I know it's kind of lame thinking, but, like, actually it's not. What if you had amnesia and you still have to go to school, but you forget everything that you've learned? There's, like, this cool thing. The author actually, like, did a bunch of, like, research on amnesia and head injuries, so that there are certain things your mind doesn't forget. So, for example, Naomi remembers all of math, but all of French she can't remember, so it's, like, different parts of the brain. She never would have met James, the boy with the questionable past and the even fuzzier future, who tells her he once wanted to kiss her. She wouldn't have wanted to kiss him back. So basically you see that, like, her likes and dislikes are completely different. And, for example, like, it's kind of, like, it's, what this book is a really cool way of thinking of, if there was a chance for you to redo your life, would you be the same person? Would you, like, if you could be 12 again, but in a 17-year-old body, how would you, that's actually not at all how it is. So don't think like she acts like a 17-year-old. Don't think that she acts like some kid. Oh, God. No, don't think that she acts like some kid. She definitely acts like a 17-year-old. But, like, she feels mature. She feels 17. But when they ask her, like, how old are you at the hospital, she's like, I don't know. Like, she doesn't want to say 12 because she knows she's not 12. She feels more wise and more mature than a 12-year-old. But, like, she doesn't know how it is. Anyway, she doesn't act like a 12-year-old. Anyway, yeah, so, awesome book. What didn't I like about this book? A few chapters were kind of lost. Like, I don't know where Gabrielle Zevin was going. Like, I know, like, I understood what was going on, but it got a little dry. It was basically, like, her being in love with this one guy, and, like, was, like, kind of dragging on. I also didn't like how usually she seemed like a pretty rational character to me. But then at those few chapters, she kind of started doing things that, like, seemed ridiculous. It just seemed like no one would do that. She, like, goes to really long strides to get this guy, and, like, I don't know, it kind of reminded me of that Bella does everything for Edward kind of a deal, and, like, I really did not like that. I'd kill myself, I'd die so that I could be reborn to be with you. That kind of a thing. It's obviously not as intense as that, but, like, she does something really stupid that I really hate, but then it gets back on track, and then, like, And then, yeah, it gets back on track. Then she's driving along, and she remembers everything. It all comes flooding back. I wish I had some. It all comes flooding back. Did you see that? The water, it flooded back. Anyway, it all comes flooding back, and it's really cool because she remembers her past life, but she also remembers her current life. So, like, you know, like two current, past, they come together, and she remembers everything. And it's so good. It's so good. I've read this book like 3 or 4 times. I love it. And the author, she did another book, and since I love this one so much, I went and bought it, of course. And it was good too. It was weird. It was really, really weird. I keep thinking that people are coming up the stairs, when in actuality, it's just raining outside. Like, I knew it was raining, but it makes, like, the thunder makes it sound like stairs. How about we look at the rain? Look at the rain. It's quite beautiful. Can you see that? Well, if you can't see it, I bet you can hear it. Look. Bird bath. Right, anyway, so this is the other book that she wrote. Look, they kind of look similar. They're both by the company Go Fish. This book is so weird. Like, seriously, I liked it, but I liked it because it was weird. Like, I liked it because it was a fascinating idea. I didn't really like the... Anyway, we'll do a review on it later. We're not... Yeah, okay. So this book. Love it. Go buy it. Oh, it's so fascinating. It's a real thought inducer. Like, it really makes you think about, if I was in this situation and I lost all my memory, how would I react to these things? And, like, Gabrielle Zevin, author again, she hits a lot of, like, good points. Some mundane points that, like, that aren't mundane to read, but, like, you think are boring, but, like, are actually important. Like, she forgot everything that she'd learned in French, and, like, she used to be a really good French student. And so she has to go through, like, a whole year of doing bad in French. But then, conveniently, when she gets her memory back, she remembers all her French. So she does a really good final exam. That was lucky, wasn't it? Anyway, go buy. That was pretty much it. So I hope that you liked my book reviews. This was my first one. I've never edited a video before, so we're gonna see how that goes. And, I have the... I'm gonna glare off the glasses again. Oh. Anyway, I'm gonna go edit this for the first time ever. I don't really know how I'm gonna edit it because Movie Maker isn't accepting my type of media file because my camera is weird and does weird media file types. So I'm gonna try some online things that YouTube is recommending to me. So, in the next video, maybe I'll mention how those go. I probably will. So, I hope that you enjoyed it. My first review video was so exciting. Yeah, stick around. I was about to say keep on reading, but that would totally be stealing Lizzie Books. Is that her name? I have it written. No, I don't. Lizzie Books' exit video, so I'm just gonna say read on.